let's talk about Evolution. Because it was good. Nah. It was great, like Tony the Tiger. Because I always said this. Just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. Even though they set the women up for failure, the women said to themselves, to each other, we gonna be the most talked about this weekend. We gonna make sure people talk about us this weekend. Yes, the women took over this weekend. Even though AEW did have a good program, their program was neat. But this is all women's program, and they did their damn thing. So welcome to the main event. I be your host, Main Event Pro. This is the most unhinged wrestling podcast on YouTube. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is your WWE Women's Evolution review. So Stephanie McMahon kicked off the show. Where she been? Huh? I know she been on her little podcast and stuff, but I thought she didn't have nothing to do with WWE no more. She stepped away from WWE, but yet, here she is. There she go. First matchup for the night, Bayley versus Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. These three women showed you what to do. They showed you what to do. I know Bayley been out of the spotlight, but Bayley had to go regain her shine. You know, she had to go get polished up. Come back and remind y'all what the fuck she's about. You know what I'm saying? Lyra stepping her game up. She's stepping her game up. She hanging in there with two of the four horsewomen. Two of the biggest women main eventers. Two of the most popular women. She hanging in there with them. And I understand why Becky is building up Lyra Valkyria. Not only does she see the potential and the talent in her, but Lyra Valkyria is Irish like her. And she want, if Becky said, when I retire, it's gotta be somebody else Irish to take over this division. Right? Huh? Yeah, that's what that all about. That's why Becky is pushing Lyra to the moon. But yeah, Becky retained with some goddamn flip over double dutch into a roll up for the 1, 2, 3, right? She did some motherfucking Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. She did one of his goddamn moves. Some shit that we be like, damn, what the fuck was that? Huh? Yeah. So Becky retained her title. Next matchup, we got Jacy Jayne versus Jordynne Grace. And I know y'all hate Jacy Jayne. I know y'all say she's not a real champion. She's a paper champion. But Shawn Michaels sees something in Jacy Jayne. And of course, it was going to come a time when he decided to push her. And this is the time he decided to push her. And put her in some star-making matches. So just be aware that Jacy will be your champion for a minute. She'll be a champ for a minute. I think she will. I think she's going to go to TNA and beat Monkovich, whatever her name. I think she's going to be a double champion. Yes. They gotta have a double champion, a woman double champion, holding two main titles. And they gotta erase Mandy Rose. I mean, I think they did they do it with Kalani? Did she hold two titles? But talking about main titles, right? TNA biggest title, NXT biggest title for the women. And they want Jacy to do that damn thing so she can go down in the history books. But Jacy Jayne ended up defeating Jordynne Grace with the help of Blake Monroe because she turned on Jordynne. She hit Jordynne Grace in the back with the title, giving Jacy the momentum to knock Jordynne Grace out for the 1, 2, 3 and retain her title. So Blake Monroe is doing what I said they should do. Make her a heel. She's better at being a heel. Let's not try to face run right up front. Let's get the people what they're used to and what they know her of, right? Even though they loved her when she first came, of course, everybody love a good debut from somebody they know from another company. You know what I'm saying? They always gonna welcome them in. But at the same time, we know Blake Monroe is a fucking heel. That's what she needs to be. So Jason retains. Next matchup, we got the Kabuki Warriors versus Zarya and Sol Ruka versus Alyssa and Charlotte versus Roxy and Raquel represent Judgment Day. Now, this was a match that that took turns. It took a turn. Now the match was good. The match was good, but it took a turn because I think Alexa Bliss got powerbombed out the ring. Right? Alexa Bliss gets powerbombed out the ring. She was about to fall on the back of her fucking neck. She almost fell to the bottom of her neck, on the back of her neck. Kairi Sane saved Alexa Bliss in this match. She saved her. She stepped in. She said, Kairi Sane said, I'm not about to watch another woman get hurt on my watch. Not while I'm here in the ring. Alexa Bliss would have got hurt. Guess who would have got blamed for it? Kairi Sane. You wasn't in the right spot. But she seen Alexa Bliss kind of overdo it. And she stepped in, braced herself and called her. Good move by Kairi Sane. Quick reaction. Because Alexa Bliss, you was almost over with. But all 4 teams did well in this match. They did good. And Raquel and Roxanne retained the titles. Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton. This match was good for what it was. It was good for what it was. Trish, you know, she's not young anymore. I'm gonna say it like that. She's not young anymore, which means she doesn't need to be taking big bumps. She doesn't need to be doing these all-star ass moves and shit. Right? She doesn't need to be doing all that. All she need to do is put up a good match. And she did. She did well. But Tiffany retains. Then we got Jade versus Naomi with special guest referee Bianca in a no holds barred match. Bianca had to do a lot of talking to these girls through the match. And I do think that's mostly on Jade's part. I think the match could have went longer. But I also think that Bianca seen that Jade wasn't doing what the fuck she needed to do in the match and decided to call the audible and told her to just end the fucking match. Let's get to the ending. Cause Jade did alright. But Jade ain't jaded, man. Jade is not jading. I don't know what the fuck it is. I know she's here to have fun. I know she's here because this is what she want to be. This is her dream to be in WWE. Jade should have went down to NXT. Jade should have started off in NXT. Started off with those women. Other than that, man, you know, y'all let me know what y'all think about Jade down in the comment, man. Let me know what y'all think about Jade down in the comment. Is she's good? She's great? Or she still needs some motherfucking developmental work? And I think she needs some more developmental work. I do think she need to go down to NXT and rock it out. But Jade picks up the win over Naomi. Then we get the women's battle royal. The women were all over the place. What I want to do is go back through the battle royal and talk about some feuds that may hinted at. They may hinted at a few feuds. I want to go back to the Battle Royal and kind of pit that out. Then we'll talk about that later. But other than that, Stephanie Valkyria picks up the win. Her Last Legend was the last two standing, which is great. They Last Legend, a big showcase, a major showcase. Last Legend is the Jade of WWE, so I don't even know why they went and got Jade. But here we are, people. Here we are. I don't want to speak too much on that. Let's talk about the show. Last Legend put up a good showcase. Last two with Stephanie, and Stephanie picks up the win. Last match, main event, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. These two women went hard. And this like the hardest I ever seen Rhea Ripley go. Now Rhea Ripley, she can go. I done seen her go. But like this match was like the hardest I seen Rhea Ripley go. Io Sky in WWE, one of the hardest match I seen her do in WWE. Because outside WWE, Io Sky done some things, man. She done some things, you know what I mean? Y'all just have to go look that shit up. But other than that, they took it to each other, man. They took it to each other until they gassed out. Both women was gassing out. And out comes Naomi. Out comes Naomi. She's running down the ramp with the briefcase. Naomi wants to cash in. They announce it. They finally announced it. They didn't answer, they didn't keep asking, are you sure? Are you sure? What they did was hesitated to ring the goddamn bell. What's up with these cash-ins and these hesitations? She cashing in, motherfucker. Ring the bell. So she was about to club Io Sky with the briefcase and had to wait because they didn't sound the bell. Then she goes back to the announce table like, ring the goddamn bell. They hit the bell. She knocks Io Sky with the briefcase. Tosses Rhea Ripley to the ring post out the ring. Hit a top rope moonsault. Springboard moonsault on Io Sky for the 1, 2, 3. Your new World Women's Champion, Naomi. And she's done it. This was a twist. I didn't see it coming. I thought they were going to let it play out because the story is Rhea Ripley never defeated Io Sky. So I knew that they was going to put up a good match, but I didn't know they were going to take it all outside the ring and shit. But, you know, with the referee bump, they took it outside the ring to do some extra shit. Right? Put the extra hurt on each other. But I thought that was the story. So I'm thinking Io Sky was going to defeat Rhea Ripley under like a roll-up type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Not like putting a finish move on or none of that. I thought she was going to defeat Rhea Ripley by like, you know, like a roll up and hold her tights or put her feet on the ropes to go heel in this bitch. But no, Naomi cashes in. Pins Io Sky before Rhea Ripley does. And now she's your women's world champion. And I'm loving it. Naomi, that's right. Her feud with Jade is over with. There was no need for Naomi to stay on SmackDown, right? No need for her to stay on SmackDown. Naomi need to shift to Raw. She need to be the heel of Raw because Liv is gone. She need to hold this title until Liv come back. Naomi need to hold this title to WrestleMania, and they need to make her. They need to make her look strong. She need to look strong. Liv Morgan, she can come back Royal Rumble. Face Naomi at WrestleMania. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's put Naomi in the WrestleMania matchup with the women's title. Then Liv Morgan can get it out for Naomi. Right? And then maybe we can just move Rhea Ripley to SmackDown or some shit where she can go ahead and start her feud with Bianca if they don't do it before this year over with. But you already got Jade over there, so I don't think you want Rhea and Jade to bump heads right now. Which you can counterattack that because WWE good at having people on the same roster and not having them meet up with each other. They might look at each other backstage, face to face, but they don't actually get the match. Till damn near a year later, you be like, damn, how they kept these two away from each other? Because everybody's stuck in a vortex. That's how they keep people in vortexes. That's how they keep people away from each other. But I digress. The show was good. It was great. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Women wrestling. It was a lot of pulling your hair. Yeah. I be the main event, and I catch you all in the next main event. Peace.